Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing grouping selectors. This is part of the intro to CSS, and so yeah, let's get started. So first off, I'm going to close all the windows that we had open previously, and we're just going to pay attention to the thing we're specifically working on, which is grouping selectors. So within grouping selectors, we can see there's a README. Let's build a little off the previous exercise. Here you're going to give two elements each a unique class, and then add rules for styles that both elements share as well as their own unique styles. Make sure you take a good look at the outcome image below to see exactly what is unique about each element. We can close the terminal for now because we're not using it, and we can get the desired outcome here. Click me. No, click me. Okay, and so if we open our index in our browser, we will see that the buttons do not look like that. They look different. So what we're going to do is style those buttons. This will help you further practicing adding classes and using class selectors. So be sure you add the class attribute in the HTML file for the remainder of the exercise. The format of any color is entirely up to you. We trust you'll practice using different values. The properties you need to add to each element are, the first element, a black background and white text. All right, well, let's get started. So if we open up the index here and our CSS here, we can see click me and click me. So if we were to do an extra exclamation mark here and refresh this, we'd see it reflects there. So we can, we're just verifying that we're working with it. So on the first element, a black background and a white text. So we want to make this one class. We'll make this one button. We'll just call it black. Black button. Nice. Then we save our HTML, and then we come to our CSS file, and we can see that it's linked to here. So it's the relative. It's immediately linking to our CSS here. So we should be able to do this. So we want to have a class, which means a period, of black button. And then within here, we want to have, what does it say? A black background. So what is that? Background color, right? Background color of black. And white text. And so for color, we do white. Save our work here. And now we can see we've made it a black background and white text. Great. Second element, a yellow background. So here we can say class is equal to yellow button. Save that, dot yellow button. And then we want to make the yellow background. So we go in background color, and we want to make this yellow. Save it here, and we've got it saved here in the index. So we can refresh this, and now we've got a yellow button. And then for both elements, a font size of 28. So we can just call this one buttons. And we go to font size of 28 pixels. And a list of fonts containing, so now we go to font family of Helvetica Times New Roman Sans Serif. So I'm going to copy this in here. And we need to just make it so it's CSS friendly. So I add a semicolon there. And we want to separate these with a space. I forget actually. We'll have to try it out. Times New Roman, Helvetica. And I think because of the font color being off, I think we need to add a comma here. And this guy. Okay, so now if we save this, we should see, oh, what's wrong? We need to add the class of buttons to each of these. So I'm going option click in order to get a dual cursor situation and press space and then add that in there. Save it here. And if we refresh, we can see that it's changed. Cool. Is this right? So if we save that, I just got rid of the commas to see if it changes anything. If we inspect here, we refresh this, and then in buttons, see, yeah, this is telling us that there's something, an invalid property type. So yeah, it is comma separated. And I just don't do a lot of CSS in my normal day-to-day, so it's not top of mind for me. If we refresh, now we can see that it worked. And if we change this off, we can click it off, and apparently it changes the font. Helvetica. Okay, so these elements are here. We've got that right. And yeah, Does each element have a unique class name? Yes. Black button, yellow button. Did you use the grouping selector for styles that both elements share? I'm not sure. Did you make a separate rules for the styles unique to each element? Separate rules to the styles unique for each element. I think so. All right, well, let's check the solution now that we have what we think is a good answer. So I'm going to add the solution CSS to the top and the solution HTML to the top here. So here they have inverted and fancy. Inverted fancy. Okay. So we didn't quite do this, or I didn't quite do this correct. We do have 3, inverted and fancy. They want that. Okay. So instead of having buttons, we wanted to have for black button and for white yellow button. And we need to make this class. We want it to have this selector. And then we can remove this buttons class. And if we save that and we save our style sheet, then we see there's no change, but now we're doing the grouping. So that's what they meant when they said, did you use a grouping selectors for the styles for both elements? So yeah, that was like incorrect, but we've corrected it now. Did you make separate rules for the styles unique to each element? Yep, separate rules for, yeah. And so, yeah, let's see, Helvetica and 28, that was what they did for this. The background yellow, so basically we just said yellow button instead of fancy. And then for inverted, they did black background color and color of white. So now we've got the right solution. Cool. So we can close all this stuff out. We saved all our work. And now we're going to commit it to GitHub. So we go git status. We can see that we've updated these 2 elements, which are these 2 files. So we can go git add to add both of them. And now if we do git status, we'll see that they're ready. Git commit. And then for our commit message, we'll write add solution for grouping selectors. Okay, cool. Now we've got that there. If we check GitHub, we'll see that currently, if we go to intro to CSS and our grouping selectors, our current solution does not have, it has a blank CSS page. So what we want to do is push, and you can see it's blank here. So we can say git push, and we're pushing it up to GitHub. And so now if we refresh the page here, we'll see that our solution is there. And so we've completed this section. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next video.